Let's see. That looks like, I'm sorry, looks like 10:52. Thanks, Josh. Our board, I would like to welcome them up here and introduce them to you, because these are your leaders who have made decisions for us. These are the people that we are electing and are helping to make decisions. So, wait for everyone to get up. This is our Vice President, Melissa Wynn, to my left. Secretary, Cal Adams. Megan Tabb is a member at large. And Denny Lauer is our treasurer. Stephanie Logan is supposed to be, hopefully, elected today. So she's one of our people that's volunteering to go for member at large. If you review the agenda, basically we have two main things that we're going to do. We're going to try to review and vote on 6 different revisions. Now, our bylaws have not been revised since 2022, so that's why we have quite a few. There were quite a few things that we decided as a board that we wanted to change, and with your approval, we will change them, and we'll have them in our bylaws. Basic things, and then the UUFEC election is the second most important thing that we're going to talk about today. And then the other things are going to be like updates on the endowment committee, updates on what's happening in our congregation, updates on our finances, and that sort of thing. So let's move right into it. And I'm going to ask some of our, do we have slides of the agenda? Adam, thank you. Okay, those were the 6 revisions that we're going to talk about, and we're going to have individual slides on each one of them. So we'll have someone from our board read the current bylaw, then the proposed change, and then our rationale for that. And then we will vote on each one of them. Want to move this along as easily and quickly as we can. All right, so let's go forward with, oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Melissa. Melissa reminds me we have to establish a quorum. So I'll ask our membership chair how many members we have at this time. Hate to put you on the spot, Karen.
It's okay. We have 79 members, 2 of which have just joined recently, and they understand they're not able to vote this time.
Okay.
They'll be able to vote next.
Okay, so our membership stands at 77 voting members, correct? All right. And then our secretary is going to ask if, or let us know if there is a quorum established out of 77.
Can I please have all members who are able to vote today raise their hands?
Mm-hmm.
Keep them raised.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we're including the whole board, I think we've got 35.
Okay.
Does everyone get that?
I can
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I could have, there's a lot of.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
Oh, okay, all right.
Okay.
All right, so that's a little less than half.
Mm-hmm.
But that's,
So-
we only have 20%.
Right.
So
Quorum is only 20%, so
then
we
have
do
one.
have a quorum. All right. Thanks. Thanks, you guys.
Our secretary's going to take minutes.
Yes, yes, of course. So let's go on to the revision of our first bylaw, Article 3-5, membership voting requirement. Okay, you may not be able to read that, so we're going to read it out loud. Yes.
Okay. All right, so our current bylaw, Article 3-5, is a member is eligible to vote at a meeting of the fellowship if they have been a member of the UUFEC for at least 60 days immediately preceding the meeting. So our proposed revision is just shifting that from 60 days to 30 days. And our rationale for that is that as we're adding new members to our congregation, more often than in the past, the board believes that a 30-day membership requirement prior to a member voting at a meeting is sufficient. 60 just feels a bit excessive at this point, so.
Can I have a motion from the floor?
Well, put it on the floor and I've got a question.
Oh, question. Go ahead, Jude.
I'll move it to put it on the floor,
Mm-hmm.
if you'll need a second. Second.
We have a second.
My question is, we were told members that were 30 days, which is what the new bylaw, but currently the bylaw is 60. I'm sure we still have more than 20%.
Good point.
But that would change the number.
That's a good point.
Is my comment, because currently the bylaw, until we change it, is 60.
Right. Correct.
I think that might just,
A bionic woman is vegan. Can I address that?
Okay. Go ahead, Karen.
So we had quite an influx in June. Those members are able to vote.
Mm-hmm. Like 20.
So we are well within our quorum.
Okay. All right, so let's take a vote. All in favor of the revision, say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Don't raise your hand. Okay, the motion is carried. Mr. Denny?
We have a change bylaws of Article 4. Currently reads, a Board of Trustees shall direct the affairs of the fellowship. The board shall be made up of members of the fellowship and consist of the following officers, is president, vice president, secretary, elected on one-year terms, ex officio officers, immediately past president, voting member, treasurer, appointed by the board, and a voting member. Members at large, 2 members elected for 2 years staggered terms, minister, ex officio, advisor, non-voting. Board members may not occupy more than one position. The changes is basically we're adding 1 trustee, okay? I won't read all of it until we get down to members at large, 3 members elected for 2-year terms, staggered terms. Rationale is the current board consists of 7 voting members, and at times it's a bit of it's a real challenge to meet the 50% requirement of 4 members to hold the board meetings, and adding 1 person member at large will increase the number of voting members to 8, and will also give the board the potential of a more diverse membership. We did decrease at one time because mainly we were going through, before COVID and during COVID, we were having a real struggle of getting people on the board and taking positions. So we modified our size. Now we think we're in good position, and we're adding 1 at-large position. Can I have a motion to accept this? Second?
Second in the question.
Yes.
How's it going to be staggered if there's 2-year terms to 3 members?
I can answer that. Basically, it's 2 years. I had originally, because I was making the proposal, making 3 years. Well, then you end up with somebody on the board for 3 years who then becomes vice president, and then president, and then it gets too long. So we decided 2 years. What will happen is 1 year we'll have a change of 1 position, trustee, and then the next year we'll have 2. We have one who will be changed next year, two who are being voted on this year if we accept this. Next year, one, after that, two, after that, one, after that, two. So it'll be just a transfer of two people at one time. Member at large is just a general membership. They don't hold a position of officer, which is president, vice president, secretary, or treasurer. It's just a term used for general membership of a board. It's a direct representative, unlike the treasurer, which is appointed by the board, but still a voting member.
So it seems like part of the reason that it was so hard to get a quorum for board meetings was that you had the past president step down. And the board doesn't have any opportunity to replace that member when they step down, which hinders the board's ability to form a quorum at every meeting subsequent. So is there any effort to try and revise that? Is that going to be one of the bylaws that we're going to see?
Yes, that's a bylaw change. Will be the board will be allowed to select if the past president position is not filled. The board is allowed to appoint one and vote it in via the board.
Great.
So we'll get to that next, right now.
All right, I didn't mean to get ahead of ourselves.
Not ahead. That's exactly what we're doing. And you can see, you go, oh, you got 8, and then you end up with a. If your board is in a position where 4 are against and 4 are for, we need to rethink it, okay? So we don't get into positions of that close.
Unless there's a tie.
Yes.
So I'm not voting on any of
Yep.
these.
So
Questions?
I'll let the president call for the vote.
Are there any more questions or comments, anything? Okay. All in favor of this motion, please say aye or signify with your hand. Aye. Any opposed? Nay? The motion carries. Thank you. Now, Mr. Denny, come back over here and do the second part of 4-1, which is what Gil asked about.
I'm not going to read it. Basically, this is the positions of voting members of the board. What we've added, and then going to add a slight change to this, is we are adding, if the past president is not available to serve the board, the board may vote to appoint a replacement for the past president position. I overlooked when I passed this on to our president that below it says members at large, because this lists out who can vote. On the board, it says 2 members elected for 2-year terms, staggered terms. That will be changed to 3. So I'm making that change now, being presented that the non-red is 3. So what we're basically doing, what the board would do is, if the past president cannot serve that position, we would look for a past president or somebody with real experience, because you can see how that assists the board, having past presidents on the board. So would someone please make a motion to accept this with the additional 3?
Well, I'll make the motion, and then again, I've got a question.
And they'll be asking questions. Second? Second. Question.
You may have answered the question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You may have already answered the question, but my question, so that appointment does not necessarily have to come from the existing board members?
No.
It can be from anybody in the congregation, but y'all decide.
Anyone
Okay, that was my question.
Preferably the past president.
with experience or past board member.
Well, do you want to add that as a requirement? Because it
No.
doesn't say that.
No.
No, really.
Remember, we try to keep bylaws tight on what's required, and then we have processes and procedures, which then give us identification how to execute that without going, oh my gosh, the bylaw says this and you can't do it. Isn't that stupid? Especially with cats. I'll call for a vote.
We did, didn't we?
Well, we got it.
No, not that one.
Vote on this one. Okay, sorry.
Those in favor, please raise your hand and say aye. Or are. Those who are against, please raise your hand. Unanimous, thank you.
Okay, moving right along. 4.5 has to do with special votes, using telephonic or electronic means in place of a board meeting at the Board of Trustees. And it may be requested by the chair at the board meetings if there is a unanimous agreement to do so, vote by all board members present. That's what the current bylaw says. The results of a special vote will be reported in the minutes of the next regular board meeting. The proposed revision to bylaw 4-5, special votes using telephonic or electronic means in place of a board meeting of the Board of Trustees may be requested by the chair at any time if there is unanimous agreement to so vote by all available board members. At any time and all available board members is the words that we've added. Results of the special vote will be reported in the minutes of the next regular board meeting. Our rationale clarifies how and when the board can do telephonic and electronic votes. That's been kind of nebulous this year. We had a couple of times where we had to do an electronic vote via email because we weren't meeting anytime soon. So that's the rationale for this change. Can I have a motion for someone to, thank you, Karen. Second? Second and question. Josh?
Sure. Instead of all available, shouldn't it be a quorum of board members?
Well, it could be. I guess that's kind of a wordsmithing thing, but when we were saying all available, that meant people that are on the board that are available to vote. So, you know, as many as we can, you know, and that would be a quorum or not.
Sure, I just didn't want it to be a situation where a couple of board members could say they're the only ones.
Yeah, if you only have two available.
Maybe, that's a good point.
That's a good point.
Maybe if it says by all available, and then in addition to like with a quorum met, so it has to be a
Let me make
minimum of a
point on that.
quorum.
I can answer that.
Okay.
If two of us said yes, we still have to have a vote of quorum.
Majority.
To have the electronic vote, there still has to be a quorum of who takes part in the vote. If we called, let's say only two of us, she got hold and couldn't, and immediately, and the others didn't respond back, and two of us said yes, she would then send it out. If only two people voted, it wouldn't pass.
Right.
Does that make sense? So it's kind of covered in that a couple can call it, but still has to have a quorum vote,
Right.
okay?
We still have to have the majority.
Majority, 5.
Mhm. Question, Jane?
Thank you. If I'm understanding right, we have in our continuing, it's sort of a two-vote process. One, should we even be having this vote electronic? Because it may be that everyone's like, oh, this can wait till next week, or like, oh my God, we should have done this yesterday, whatever. So there's kind of the vote on whether the issue merits a inter-meeting vote. And then there's the vote on the issue itself. Is that right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm understanding the current bylaws to say the whole board has to say, yes, this is worth an inter-meeting vote,
Mhm.
and then you proceed to the issue. I just want to make sure I'm understanding correctly.
I think so.
Okay, thank you
Mhm.
very much.
And the hang up, just so it's understood, that further answer to that is there was a strong inference that it had to be done at a face meeting
Mhm.
or a formal meeting to set up the teleconference one. This one allows us that if something comes up that takes an immediate vote, the president or the chair then can send out, said, I would like to set that up. The vote would be then to set it up, and then we'd have a meeting and the vote.
We have another question back there too. Just
Yeah.
don't wanna forget about him.
In the back. CJ?
I guess my question is why there needs to be that preceding vote at a face-to-face meeting before you can vote electronically. I don't know if there's context I'm missing, or could you just say, hey, we're all going to be scattered for this amount of time, can we just do it electronically? I don't know why. Sorry, I'm not criticizing it. I just don't, I'm just trying to understand why
ahead.
there's
I'll
previous
answer
vote.
this question. So the preceding vote is just like something comes up, and maybe it's the middle of the month, or we had just already had our board meeting. And so Deborah will say, hey, here's this thing, like, do we want to go ahead and vote on this electronically to just get it, because it's important, like we need to hire someone, or yeah, there's a time frame thing. So then if everyone agrees, like, yeah, we're cool with voting electronically, then we go forward with that. If someone says, hey, I'm not comfortable voting on this electronically because we need to discuss it more, then we would hold off on the vote. Does that answer your question? Okay.
You had a question?
No, I'll pass.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion on the floor. Please vote aye if you are in favor of this motion.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. And the last two things, three things, whatever, we are adding two of our committees, the Social Justice Committee and our Caring Committees, to 7.1, which is the affairs and activities of the fellowship are organized around 9 standing committees. We're going to make it 11 because we think both of those committees are very important to the life of our church. So the words that we are adding is the affairs and activities of the fellowship are organized around 11 standing committees: the building and grounds, committee on ministry, communications, endowment, finance, membership, religious exploration, religious services, nominating, and social justice and caring committees. And as I said, the reason for our proposed change is because we think these two committees are very, very important, and they need to be expressed in our bylaws. Can I have a motion? Judy made the motion, and Sandy seconded. Is there any discussion?
Pet peeve, why no Oxford commas?
That's very important.
What does that mean? I don't understand that.
Social justice, and caring, just to differentiate that they're not the same one.
I mean, the problem exists with the current one too.
It's a typo.
No, it's not. It's a style.
Yeah, it's not for it is.
Okay.
We will
Any
add the
other-
comma.
Any other questions or comments? All right. Motion's on the floor. Please raise your hand or say aye if you're in favor of the motion. Thank you. Any opposed? The motion carries. Now, these last two, I'm going to let Denny speak to again because he created them, and then we checked with the Caring Committee and the Social Committee chairs and asked them if those descriptions of those committees were okay with them for our bylaws.
This adds, because each one of the standing committees, just so you understand, we have standing committees and then committees, the chair can then appoint and run short term, and that's how the caring and the social justice were carried for years. So we've added those to it. These define what they are. You can see they're very short. The Social Justice Committee, the purpose of the Social Justice Committee is to engage the congregation in love-based action to promote a more just, equitable, and peaceful world. End of sentence. The Caring Committee, I'm going to read both and then we'll vote and discuss as needed. Is Caring Committee, the purpose of the Caring Committee is to provide support for members and friends of the church who are going through transitions, including illness, injury, death, birth, and other personal or family crisis. The committee is to be a link between the needs of the members and friends of the church and those who provide for these needs. These were written out, stolen from other churches, obviously. I never do anything original. And then sent to the committee chairs. They looked at them. A little modification on the Caring Committee that came back and then we put it in, and this is agreed to by the committees. I'll ask for a motion. I need a second. Second? Julian? Discussion? Questions? Those in favor, please raise your hand or say R. R. It's my pirate. And those who are opposed, please raise your hand or say nay. Thank you.
Whew, got through that. So now I'm going, thank you for that. And hopefully we won't have to change any more next year. We'll be comfortable for a couple more years, I think. We will now move to the portion of our meeting on the election for the 2026 open board positions. And past president and nominating committee chair, Jane Park, will lead us in that.
Good morning. My name's Jane Park. I'm a past president of this wonderful congregation. Would you beautiful folks like to stand or sit? Up to you. You be comfortable. You do you. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. So, yes, before I say anything, can we just give our board of trustees a huge round of applause for all this wonderful hard work. Nobody joins the church to revise bylaws, but they are. Nobody. But they are important. Part of what keeps us a safe place is that we are accountable and we all know the rules together. And they are working hard to make sure we have good rules to support this community. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So just to, how close do I I never know how close to stand. Just quickly review the nominating process. Quick show of hands. Who feels like they understand the nominating process here? Right? Who feels like, I don't even know what you're talking about? All right, very good. So I'm going to, for those of you who know it, I'm going to ask you to know the value that everybody understands how leadership comes to be in leadership. So very quickly, board composition. We have president, vice president, secretary, a past president who obviously they're not voted on, but if they're not available, we now have a bylaw that will allow the board to appoint that person, praise the Lord, or great pumpkin. And we have a treasurer also appointed by the board, and then we have now not 2, but 3 at-large positions. So 5 officers, particular roles, if you will, and 3 at-large positions. Every year, there's going to be 1 or 2 now continuing at-large positions, depending on whether in the 1 year or the 2 year, as Denny said. But all the other, there's always going to be at least 1 outgoing at-large member, and all the president, vice president, and secretary, those are all 1-year terms. So those will always be up for election. So right now we have an outgoing at-large member, and I don't see Ellen Holt today, but everyone give warm hugs to Ellen in your heart for all her service to the church. And now we have a new position because we just voted on one. Yes. So we have a nominating committee. The way it works in this church is in this case, a past president oversees, is the chair of the nominating committee. The outgoing member of the outgoing at-large member, Ellen Holt, is also on the nominating committee. And then from a fairly recent bylaw change, the third person is someone selected by the board who is not on the board, just a church member. So I want to give a huge thanks to Ellen, and then Vicki, would you stand up? Brave Vicki stood up to jump into and no one goes to church to be on a nominating committee either, so thank you very much, very much. So our work was super easy because this amazing board, all the officers are like, yeah, I'm in for another year. So thank you for that. Thank you for your service, and thank you for making our life easier. So all we had to do was fill Helen's position, Ellen, excuse me, my bad. Ellen Holt departing position, and we were given a heads up of the strong possibility of a new at-large position. So we had to find 2 people. And fortunately, months ago, Miss Stephanie had indicated her interest in serving on the board. And then the committee thought, you know, who would be really good was Trudy Griffin. And this is totally uncouth. Can I tell you what you said?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, she said, I said, it's a 2-year position. She goes, well, if I'm alive that long. And I said, so I said we'd put a little asterisk next to it, but those are the wonderful. So. All right. I would not put that in the minutes, please, but you're in charge, Cal, so whatever you want in there, that's up to you. So we have members who rotate off 1 year. At some point, Deborah and Cal and Melissa might possibly say they're done with their being in the positions they're in. So we would have to elect those positions. We do have to elect them, but when the current president steps up, you're like, yes, thank you. So we are the people before you for a vote for the board at this time. Sorry, I skipped one last thing. Sorry. So we have our board and how the positions work. We have our nominating process, so super thanks to Vicki and Ellen. Third, this is also super important, how do we inform the congregation? So at the spring meeting, we let you all know, remember the fall, that's your chance to serve, or anyone you think should serve on the board, let us know. And then for about 6 weeks leading up to the meeting, President Deborah has, I think, announced it at least once from up here. It's been in the e-news every week. So we do everything we can to let you know that you have an opportunity to serve or to recommend someone else you think might serve. So we really do as much as we can to let you know you have an opportunity and here's how leadership works. So all that said, I'm going to name to you the people that the nominating committee is recommending to be elected to next year's board. Deborah Baker Ryan for president, Melissa Wynn for vice president, Cal Adams for secretary, Stephanie Logan replacing Ellen Holt for that outgoing at-large position. So that will be a 2-year position. And then Trudy Griffin, asterisk, for the new position that you all just voted on. So I think I can proceed. I think I could ask for initial nominations. I can't remember, but I'm gonna, if someone wants to speak, they may, but I think I'm gonna ask for a motion to approve the slate, but anyone can say whatever's on their mind and ask questions.
I move to close the nomination.
All right, we have a motion to close the nominations. Any, all in favor? All righty. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, thank you. And then, all right, so now I need a motion for a vote on this list of candidates. All right, Mr. Brown, thank you. Thank you, Stacy. Okay. All right, all in favor of approving these amazing, lovely people?
You sound biased.
Oh, I was on the nominating committee, of course. I'm not going to say, well, if you want to put these idiots on, it's up to you, but yeah. A joke. They are not idiots. You saw what they all did. Yeah, please. There you go. So all in favor of electing these individuals for the 2026 board, please raise your hand. All right. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Which is always okay. Thank you, and thank you, board. Woo! Great. And so now we have another. Oh, crap, I brought the wrong script. That's okay. I think I can do it. We have, among the committees you saw, because I know you read the whole list of committees that we have, is an endowment committee. We actually have an endowment, and we have a set of bylaws. Oh, yeah, actually, that much I remembered. But thank you. Deborah's got it all covered in case, if anyone was worried, you shouldn't be, but Deborah's got it all covered. So just to know, we have, A, we have an endowment, woohoo, and B, we have an endowment committee. And it's elected a slightly different way, just because we, managing those funds just requires a specific knowledge base, a set of skills and familiarity with the church. And there's, if anyone, I guess I'd say if you have a sleep disorder, go download the bylaws, and there's a lovely page and a half that really spells out very clearly what you can spend endowment committee funds on. And we have been spending them, and I won't get into that. But we have a committee, someone else can speak to it better. There's 4 positions, and people are elected to a 4-year term, and it's staggered. So this year, I believe Miss Karen is going off. So I would like Karen to stand up. Can Gil stand up? Karen Lauer, Gil Brown, no? Sandy Fowler? Bill White, there you are. So this is our endowment committee. They really manage these important funds. Can we say yay? Woohoo! And Karen has done 4-ish years, and she's done an amazing job. She is ready to step down. And I am delighted to say that Janet Chapman is ready to stand up. And the way it works is that the endowment committee itself recommends someone to the board. The board generally says thank you, but anyway, they vote on them. And then they come before us at this time for a vote. And so at this time, I know that's a lot of information, certainly welcome questions, and but would like to ask for a motion to approve the appointment election of Janet Chapman to the endowment committee. Thank you, Kathy. And Stacy, thank you for the second. Any discussion or questions? We ready to vote? Oh, you have a question.
I didn't know it was for 4 years, but that's okay.
We appreciate you.
But you're so pretty.
And that's why we didn't tell you.
Yeah. So, Cal, I cannot wait to see a draft of these minutes. Okay. So, all, you can abstain, Janet, if you want. All in favor of electing Janet Chapman to a 4-year term on the endowment committee? Aye. All right. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Wonderful. Thank you. The election portion of this meeting is over. Thank you to all who served, and a special thanks to Deborah. I've done this meeting a lot. It's a poop load of work. Yeah. So thank you.
Next, we're going to have our finance updates, and I'm not sure if it's going to be Judy or Mr. Denny. So we should have our slide, and you get to see how we are spending our money.
There we go. That I recognize. Let me first recognize the members of the Finance Committee. If you would stand up, please, who are here. We have Amy and Bill and Trudy and Sandy and myself and what's his name over here. We have a great committee. We, however, are always interested in new members. If you don't have to know Excel spreadsheets, because I don't know Excel spreadsheets, but if you understand money and are willing to look at what we spend and how we spend it and ask good questions, then please talk to me after. This is where we've put your money, and this is about 6 months worth. So if you look at the income versus the budgeted amount, the budgeted amount specifically comes from what you pledged, and some people pay their entire pledge early, so it may look a lot more healthy than it might at the end of the year, but keep on doing your pledge, and new members, please give a generous pledge. We really appreciate it. And this is then how we spent your money. We didn't give you all the details. The Finance Committee does that. This is not for a vote, by the way. This is just information purposes. The other part that's important is we have CDs. We bought an additional CD this year. We do not let our money just kind of sit there. We put it to work. We look around and see where the best percentages are, where we can get the best rate. We did change our banking this year from First National, which has been there for a while, to Synovus. We've got much better rates there, and we're very happy with that change. We also have currently at the end of the what was this? The end of 15th of October. Again, a healthy savings and a healthy checking account. We watch that, and again, if it builds up too much, we would put it in a CD. We've staggered our CDs, so if we need something, we're putting away money for a roof, for instance. We've gotten a bid of $40,000. We're not going to be able to come up with that without pulling in where we have planned. The other part that's important, and then we just elected this woman who didn't know she had 4 years on an endowment committee. Endowment is really, really important. If you put us in your will, or if you choose to give us a large donation that does not come into our coffers for expenditure or even savings or CD, it goes specifically into a growth fund that is managed by that endowment committee. It was extremely important during the time that we were closed. We had, fortunately, one of our past members who passed away had given us a large donation. And some others who had passed away. Please, first of all, put us in your will, and those funds allowed us to spend over $100,000 to put new electrical after the rats and the raccoons and the animals had their party up there for a while. So, and we had so much repairs that had to be done during the time it was closed. The endowment committee and the endowment dollars, they allowed us to do that. So it's really important. We have started to put back into that. We've gotten a few more endowments. Last year, the endowment was at 61.2, I think you said, right? And no, that can't be right because it's 67. Yes, it has, 61.2 was last year, is what we had in the endowment. The stocks and what is in there has grown. We now have 67, whatever that figure is, that's what's in the endowment right now. So it's healthy, it grows. We don't want to lose any members to the great beyond, but if you're going to do that, please put us in your will before. Thank you very much. Are there any questions? If there are any specific questions, or if you are interested in serving on the Finance Committee, please do see me after, and I will tell you. We have a great time, and we have parties at least twice a year, just for the committee.
They have wine at their committees.
Not every time.
Just,
But December.
yes, December's the party time. Okay, let's get this going. Our congregational updates have to do with where we've made changes and where we're headed. So briefly, I would first like to thank all of the chairs and staff for their service this year, and I would like to call the names of those committee chairs so that you can see how many people in this congregation are working to help keep our congregation alive and to make it thrive. So, as I call your name, please stand and stay standing until we say thank you to all our 2025 committee chairs and staff. Janet Chapman is our facilities chair. Jane Park and Stacy Shanks are our social justice chairs. Karen Lauer also has two committees. She's the membership chair now, and she's also the endowment committee chair. Judy Byrne-Riley, finance chair, you just saw. Amanda Pyburn, who's not here with us today, she's our religious services committee chair. Linda Carson, our caring committee. Spit it out, Deborah. Also, I want to note that Jane Park has assumed the chair of our Committee on Ministry. And although Trudy Griffin is not a committee chair per se, she does a lot of work for your second hour classes every week. So I think it's important that Trudy gets recognized. Our staff is Josh Moore. He's our Director of Religious Exploration, and I'm guessing he's in the back with the kids. And Ivy Light, who's our Assistant DRE, and Alyssa Herbert, who's our Administrator, who does all the stuff for the e-news and the order of service and everything. She's amazing. And our newest, Zach Blappert. So those are the people that are working on this. Oh, Cecile, I'm sorry. I had added your name in last night, and then I forgot it. Okay. So let's give them a round of applause. All right, thank you. You may be seated. Here are some other things that have happened and are continuing on. The board has plans to update our building safety and security plan. We've been very, very concerned about that over our last couple of meetings, and so we now are going to pull that plan out that we already have and amend it and revise it and make it safer, and then we will communicate that information to you so that everybody knows what the plan is if anything's insecure. We've updated our AV technical services. As you well know, we purchased a new TV, we purchased streaming apps and services, and we've increased our internet capability and availability and speed because we changed companies. So we are now have amazingly fast internet here. And it wasn't that way in the past, I will tell you. And the final thing that I have for an update is our Volunteer of the Year. On behalf of our UUFEC board, we wish to recognize Adam Shanks, who has gone above and beyond his volunteer substitute AV position to improve our UUFEC Sunday service streaming. We thank you, Adam. Yeah. We have a little present for them, for, I say them, Adam and Stacy. You know, they're inseparable. So we gave them a little gift certificate so they can go out on a date night and have a good time. All right, you're welcome.
That's my dad.
So amazing. And Reverend Kathy, are you going to come up and close us out here because we want to adjourn this thing? Thanks so much. And this is Reverend Kathy's last Sunday with us, but she'll be back again in another month in December. But we just want to tell her goodbye today and safe travels because she's traveling on an airplane today.
Thank you, Deborah. These closing words are by Gordon McKeeman. Ministry is all that we do together. Ministry is that quality of being in community that affirms human dignity, beckons forth possibilities, invites us into deeper relationships, carries forward our heritage of hope and liberation. Ministry is what we all do together.
And with that, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.